I'm Christine Gilfillan. I'm the Associate Director at Berks Women in Crisis. I want to welcome you to our podcast video series, The Place You Start. And today I'm very pleased to have with me Tara Anspach.
Hello.
Hi, Tara. Tara is one of our volunteers and has been involved with the organization for a long time, so I'm really grateful that you're here today. And I just wanted to start off by asking you, Tara, how you got involved with Berks Women in Crisis. What brought you to Berks Women in Crisis?
Well, I've always wanted to become a volunteer, so I signed up for the volunteer training, and I completed that course in May. That was 66 hours, so I could volunteer and have direct access with clients at the Safe House. And I just have a heart to help women who have domestic violence and sexual assault histories. I'm a survivor, so I would like to share my experience with anyone, be able to help anyone that I could.
Okay.
So that's what really brought me to BWIC. I stayed in the shelter, and from there, that was in 2007, and I was in an abusive relationship, and the care and service that I got there was life-changing for me, and I ended up on a new career path. Went to school to become a social worker, currently a student at Kutztown, and my goal is to work at Berks Women in Crisis.
That's great. So thinking back to 2007 or when you were staying with us, what do you think was the most helpful thing about the services that we offered?
Oh, definitely the counseling. Being able to talk to someone outside of the agency and outside the building of the Safe House, to get away and just have an hour or so with a counselor to talk about what was going on, and to know that, you know, I wasn't alone, and that there are ways and to deal with my issues that were going on, and all I had to do was just confront them and take a stand, and they were very empowering. So gave me the strength and the courage to do what I had to do to take care of myself and my children.
Great.
I think that was my favorite, the most helpful part was the empowerment that I felt at the agency, and then the loving care and support that I got in the Safe House.
Great. So how do you think that those experiences or the positive things that you experienced at the agency will connect to your social work mission?
Social work is definitely all about empowering clients to make their own decisions, and then to support them in the decisions that they make. So just being able to work at Berks Women in Crisis and encourage the women that it's okay for you to choose what you want your life, which direction you want your life to go in, and that we're just there to support whatever decisions they make, and to know that they do have some place to go.
Can you think of, would there have been a service or a support that we could have offered, maybe that we didn't offer at the time, that, you know, looking forward with your experience and your training, that you think we could offer in the future, or that would interest you to be a part of?
I don't know. I think the agency provides services all the way around. I was eligible to go into the transitional housing, which, as it turned out, I found an apartment on my own, so I didn't need the transitional housing. But BWIC covers everything, from counseling. They have, you know, options for childcare at the time. Maybe more funding for childcare, that the women would be able to have. Take the kids to daycare while they go and take care of their business that they have to, without having to have the, you know, distraction of the children along. I know funding makes it limited for that, but I would think that that would be probably about the only thing.
I think you're right about that.
Yeah.
I think that for a lot of women in the shelter and women in general, childcare.
Yeah, if you go to the Safe House, you're there for 30 days, and that's really not enough time to get everything. If you're not working and you don't have some place to live and you have children, you have to find childcare, some place to live, and a job within 30 days. Also deal with the trauma of your abuse, so that can come up and interfere with your ability to get everything done in a timely manner. So it's a lot.
It doesn't sound possible to do all of that in 30 days.
It doesn't, but it happens. Sometimes it happens, but it's that's the goal. So I think you know, lengthening, like having a transition area in between the 30-day shelter and then till women get their place, which your new location has that transitional for about 6 months, 3 to 6 months of transitional. So
Yes.
it helps it so the women don't have to like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I can't make it on my own. And so.
Yeah, I think if there were one thing that we could offer more of, that might be, because our facility can help up to 6 families in that transitional housing period. The other thing I was going to ask was, you were with us in 2007, and of course you mentioned now we have a new building or a new center. What do you think is the biggest difference?
More space. You can hold up to 50 women in the safe house, and then also the transitional part, so that they're not in the safe house, but they're still in the building, so they still have access to the services on the first floor with the counseling, and still will be able to come downstairs and talk to someone if they needed to. And the building is very nice.
We have a parking lot,
and you have access to everyone right there. You don't have to travel across town where you had to be at the safe house at one area and then go to counseling at another area. So having everything all in one location is very nice.
So I think as a survivor, you have a unique perspective. I wonder if there were any survivors listening to the podcast or watching the video, what would be the one thing that you might say to them to help them through a situation?
Yeah, just to just always remember that you're not alone. You can always call a hotline if you need somebody to talk to, and check in with BWIC. They have some survivor groups going on that will be helpful. And also, I like to just volunteer to just to help, just to show my face, even if it's just passing out pamphlets at a health fair. It's still something that you're taking a stand, because you're empowered, you are in control, so you don't have to be afraid to stand up.
Great. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being on the program today, and I appreciate your willingness to share something about your experience. I think that's very powerful.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks a lot. Thank you for tuning in to The Place You Start. We have guests stopping by each week. Check in again for more stories at berkswomenincrisis.org. And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter.